to A&M, their first L of the season on a last-second field goal. Bama dropped in the poll from 1 to 5. Stephen A., you are so confident, though.
I'm not worried about Georgia. Georgia's defense is legit. I get that. They are elite. Their offense, that is an entirely different matter altogether, Tim Tebow. I'm not concerned about the Bulldog. Georgia, I understand, is elite in that regard, but against everyone but the Tide. They are number 2 for a reason. Do you want to say it with me? Roll Tide. Side. You know, listen. Tim Tebow knows this. Sam Acho knows this. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, this is just a bump in the road. That's all. It's a bump in the road. You know, sometimes a touch of adversity needs to come before you sit up there and you rise above the adversity and take over again. What you did was you woke up a giant.
Now that's a new one.
You woke up a giant. That's what you did. Okay, listen. Texas A&M didn't look too good, came in there with a 2-game losing streak. I saw Arkansas bounce them around in Big D and Jerry World, okay?
Stay focused.
I saw all of that, all right? Bottom line is Alabama will be back. And remember, I was talking about them against Georgia, and I still stand by that. Ain't no Stetson Bennett gonna knock out Alabama. It ain't gonna happen. Y'all can sit up there and talk. Listen, I know y'all playing that sound. Y'all got me today. But what happened to last week when Tim Tebow was talking about how Ole Miss was gonna do something against Alabama? And what's his name? I'm saying Lane Kiffin is sitting up there talking, get your popcorn ready and all of this. How dare he? The disrespect. And Nick Saban just said, how dare you speak about me so disrespectfully? Mind your manners. And Lane Kiffin had to fall back.
Which game are we talking about?
All I'm saying is this. Last week, you're going up against an unranked team. They slept on them. That's a lesson to be learned. Okay. And they will learn it.
You know what I'm going to do?
And they will learn it.
Sam Acho, great to have you with us, and Tim Tebow. You know, Stephen A., when I struggle on a show or we have a bad show, things are messed up or whatever it is, in the post-show call, I'm just going to remind everybody, this is great. This is great for us. It builds resilience. Stephen A. embraces a bad rating or mistakes, and he's not going to get on any of us. Absolutely. Right, Stephen A.? Because it builds character.
It does build character. It does build character.
I love this new Stephen A.
But part of it is getting on you to remind you that it builds character. Okay. Not standing still. Not accepting just being good, Tim, Sam. It's accepting excellence and nothing less.
Tim and Sam, it's a learning lesson. It's just a learning lesson. Much ado about nothing. Do you guys have anything you want to add?
Go ahead, Sam.
I just love this side of Stephen A., right? I love the side of Stephen A. that admits when he's wrong, the side of Stephen A. that tries to say it's a learning lesson and all these things. This is beautiful, Stephen A. I get it. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to take a lesson and learn, like Alabama.
Alabama had a tough loss. He didn't say he was wrong, though. I don't think we heard that.
But he implied, like he said with you, he implied that he's wrong. If you look at the macro, the implications set forth say that I was wrong. He'd have to say it, but the implications are very clear and obvious. You were wrong, Stephen A., and we appreciate it, right? That's true leadership. True leadership admits mistakes and says, I'm sorry. They wear gator ties. That is true leadership at its finest.
Oh, they wear gator ties.
Hey, Sam, I hear you. I appreciate it, but I don't know if he admitted it. I don't think he apologized. Like, he wore a gator tie because he would have been shamed out of this world. Like, come on. Because he's honorable. But you know what? Admitting that you made a mistake, that's totally different.
So this is a great opportunity. This is a great opportunity, Stephen A. Great opportunity for you to finally admit that you were wrong.
Great platform.
I made a mistake. I thought that Alabama, you understand, because of the great Nick Saban, would never take anybody for granted. And then I watched that daggone defense give up 41 points and just ignored 140-plus yards, you know, from Brian Robinson, and ignored Jameson Williams and his all-out game, and just took it for granted. And I am sure that Nick Saban will correct the error of their ways. I am sure this team will rise up to get Alabama out of the top 5. Just drop them like that.
You know what I think Nick Saban's going to say? It's It's a learning lesson.
You know what I think?
It builds resiliency.
You know what I think? Nick Saban, I think they need another speech from your boy. That's what I think. I think they need another speech.
There's the guy.
Are you talking about when like A-Rod went to speak to them, or are they going to like replay Kobe's speech to them, or one of those?
Ask them what the greatest speech they ever heard was. Ask them. Ask Paul Feinbaum. Ask them. Okay, they'll tell you this. And oh, by the way, Tim Tebow, if Florida had gotten a speech from me, they would have beat Kentucky. Maybe that would have happened. How about that?
First of all, let's get back to this game, okay? The one thing that you said about Alabama that is true, I believe, is that you woke a sleeping giant. And I think you are going to have a ticked off team that to have them like where they're ranked, it's ridiculous. I mean, let's be honest. Alabama is still probably the best team in college football. They lost on the road in a crazy atmosphere, maybe one of the best, if not the best atmospheres in college football that was rocking, and an A&M team that for an entire year was focused on this game. We could tell because they definitely weren't focused on the two before that. So A&M played completely different than they had all year. Jimbo Fisher, dial it up. Zach Calzada was not the same guy as the 2 weeks before. And this defense, Mike Elko, give him a lot of credit. They were dialing everything. They had been preparing for this game for an entire year, and Alabama made too many mistakes. A kickoff return for a touchdown, fumbling it on a short yardage play, throwing interceptions at the goal line. You still look at this and you say Alabama's the better team, and I still look at it compared to everybody else in the country and still think they're a better team.
Right, but it's not always about who you say is a better team. It's about the College Football Playoff Selection Committee picking the top four. And right now, there are 4 teams in front of Alabama that have an opportunity to stay in front of Alabama for 2 reasons. Number one, you look at Georgia. Georgia is a dominant football team. And if Georgia goes and beats Alabama in the SEC championship, they are the number 1 team. Number 2, you go to Iowa. Well, hold on. You go to Iowa. Iowa is on a tear right now, undefeated, playing dominant defense, 16 interceptions. Then you go to an undefeated Cincinnati team who right now is ranked ahead of Alabama. And they have another test in November against a top 25 SMU team. So that's 3 teams. Then whether it's going to be Oklahoma or maybe it's going to be Ohio State, one of those teams that can go out and stay in front of Alabama. So that's number 1. And then number 2, right? Ohio State is behind them right now. I get it. But Ohio State, in a lot of people's eyes, is a better team than those teams, some of those teams in the top 4. But then number 2, Alabama's loss, like you got that one loss to an unranked A&M team. And then let's say you do go and beat Georgia, you will have a better chance. But that's not a foregone conclusion. You talk about Georgia's offense being questionable. Hold on. Georgia's offense. Hold on. Tim Tebow, you're looking at history right now. History speaking, you throwing them. Go ahead and throw that rock. Historically speaking, Alabama has consistently beaten Georgia when it counts. But this is different. This Georgia team is different with a backup quarterback, with Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett, they're over here putting up 60 points. Imagine if JT Daniels gets healthy. They got JT Daniels there for a reason, number 1. Number 2, the defense is the best we've seen since the 1930s. And Alabama has question marks on defense. And so from an Alabama team, you think I'm making this stuff up? We watched the A&M tape. We watched the Florida tape, a game that Alabama looked very suspect.
Let Tim get at you,
So
Sam.
from an Alabama team that is not playing well, they will be on a tear. They will win this next week against Mississippi State. When it comes to making the playoff and being in the top 4, there are definitely more questions than answers.
All right. Tim, go ahead. Get him. I got something for him, but go ahead and get him.
You know what? I just need to calm down. Or I need to remember, be kind right here. Sam. Just answer this question. On a neutral field, do you think Iowa, Cincinnati, or Oklahoma would be even close to Alabama right now if they played on a neutral field?
Tim Tebow, that's not the question that the College Football Selection Committee has.
The College Football Selection Committee, it's the 4 best teams. Yes, it is. It's the 4 best teams. And you're saying that right now, Iowa, Cincinnati, Oklahoma, and Ohio State. Ohio State got blasted at home by Oregon. Cincinnati is a very talented team, but they haven't really beat anybody. Notre Dame ain't nobody. Notre Dame almost lost to Florida State. And then let's talk about Iowa. Iowa had to come from behind at home in a rowdy environment against a Penn State team that is not fantastic. So you look at their wins and say, yeah, picks. But that's also because quarterbacks that have played them have been absolute terrible. Right?
Okay.
Like, we got to be honest about those things. On a neutral field, there's a reason. Vegas usually gets it right. On a neutral field, Vegas would have Alabama beating the brakes off of those teams.
Get him.
But check me out. But check me out. No, I was with the college football selection committee 2 weeks ago. We had a mock selection committee. We understand how they make those decisions. Okay. Yes, you are right. They pick the top 4 teams. I get that. But what they don't do is they don't say, well, on a neutral field, who would win and who would. No, you got to look at who's winning their division, who's winning their conference, who won the games that were in front of them. And if A&M.
Can I just say one thing?
Go ahead.
Can I just say one thing? I'm going to leave it to Tim because Tim get you and you know more college football than me. Sam Acho, let me show you how shameful, how blasphemous your words are. Cincinnati, I'm just looking at their schedule. Miami of Ohio, Murray State, Indiana, Notre Dame, okay, is there, and Temple. Really? You lost? Have you lost your mind?
Let's just finish it at this because they're literally telling me got to go and I don't want to go. But if you say the 4 best teams and you don't put Alabama in there, you know that you're either lying to yourself or it's really not about the 4 best teams. If you want to go schedules and everything, that's fine. But let's change college football and let's put cupcakes all over the place.
But then this is so good, and I don't want to cut this off, guys, but we gotta go.
Why join it? Because you know you're going to have losses.
All right, we're going to revisit this next week. Sam Acho will be back. And
he'll be back.
Still to come on First Take, Jalen Hurts.